What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to No Fugazi Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Davon, for a lovely Monday night evening. Appreciate you guys coming through and showing your love support. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. More importantly, hit that notification so you can know whenever a new video drop for this channel. More importantly, I appreciate you guys coming through and showing your love support. But let's go ahead and get into everything that had progress in tonight's showcase as we're leading towards everything that's going to be happening at Crown Jewel. It was so much that went on tonight for the Red Brand. We had the face-to-face off between the WWE Undisputed Champion as well as the World Heavyweight Champion. It was a decent conversation. It was very respectful and cordial, a man's honor. More importantly, we had some great action on tonight's card tonight. We ended up having Kofi Kingston taking on the big man, Braun Breaker. As well, and tonight we had some women's action as we had Io Sky and Kairi Sane taking on no other than the ESTs of WWE, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. As well, and tonight we had a decent women's main event that closed out the show, but it was all right for what it was. We ended up having no other than Tiffany Stratton making the jump over to the Red Brand for one night only until they figure things out with the whole Crown Jewel, as she was in tag team action with Rhea Ripley, taking on Judgment Day's members Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. We had so much going on, including within the pending of all the storylines that was going on, as we ended up having a sit-down interview with Big Bronson Reed, who's looking to step up to the plate and challenge no other than Seth Rollins to a future date. We also had tonight, we ended up having scheduled for next week, we have Jey Uso taking on Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. So many great things happened tonight on the Red Brand with the crossroads heading towards Crown Jewel. But more importantly, we're a couple weeks out. I believe we're 2.5 weeks out before we head towards Crown Jewel over in Saudi Arabia. But it was decent for what it was. We started off the show red hot when it came to everything that initially had transpired. We had Rhea Ripley coming out to address the crowd, making her entrance. She gets on the mic. She calls out Liv Morgan. She calls out Raquel Rodriguez because she was looking to have a fight. But she was abruptly interrupted by Tiffany Stratton, who came out and told Rhea Ripley, more importantly, to keep her nose out of the women's WWE champion Nia Jax's business, or it's going to be a big, big problem. They have a face-off. They have a shoving little scuffle. And, of course, Judgment Day members Rhea Ripley, former Rhea Ripley, was attacked. So was Tiffany Stratton by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They put the beat down to the ladies to get the scuffle underway, and things initially broke down afterwards. And things are looking up as Tiffany Stratton was beaten down. She was beaten with her briefcase by Liv Morgan. And, of course, the Judgment Day women were standing tall after everything that had transpired. We get over to the next thing that was on the night. We end up having a video package for the WWE Women's Tag Team title match that was going to take place shortly. And then we end up having Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill making their way to make their entrance for that actual match to take place against no other than Kairi Sane and Io Sky of Damage Control. The match was really good. It had a whole lot of back and forth, everything that you truly could have asked for. More importantly, it truly kept me highly invested through the course of the tag team match. A lot of near falls, a lot of high spots. And then, of course, we ended up having 2/4 of Metaphor as Jakari Jackson, as well with no other than her running mate, Lash Legend. She was there in the house tonight. They were looking to probably step up to get another shot for the tag team championship, as the tag team championship team division is slowly beefing up, but it's looking overall okay for what it is from my own personal opinion. But the match was mid at best, but it was okay. Got the job done for the tag team match. They did a phenomenal job. Apparently the crowd there was chanting, "This is awesome." And it was okay. For my personal opinion, I'm not to be what we call one of people that pretty much comes out being a mark. But the match was okay, from my own personal opinion. The ESTs of WWE was able to pick up the victory after a full-on distraction. We saw a little bit of attention of mixed communication, where Jade Cargill ended up dropping Bianca Belair on her stomach after a miss tag team transitional move. Bianca Belair was able to get the victory after a suplex transition into the KOD to pick up the pinfall for the 1, 2, 3 and secure the victory over Io Sky. But it's also setting the tensions for the women's division to beef up and more challenges looking to step up against the ESTs of WWE. We get to the back. Finn Balor, he's talking to Adam Pearce. He demands to know when he's getting his rematch against Damian Priest. Adam Pearce goes straight to the facts. He said there is no rematch against Damian Priest, but more so they need to focus strictly on defending the World Tag Team Championship. It's been a minute that they have defended them, and he was looking for them to have some new challenges set up as he let them know about the obligations of the tag team division that is going to set up a tournament to crown new challengers to face no other than JD McDonough and Finn Balor for the tag team championship. Afterwards, Adam Pearce left, and then, of course, the other members of Judgment Day end up joining JD and Finn Balor to have a nice little discussion. Finn Balor storms off because he's pissed off. Liv introduces Raquel Rodriguez to the rest of the other members, and Carlito was left speechless. Said, "Now that's cool," and pretty much they send us into the commercial break. After the commercial break, we ended up having a hype package for the American Made, where Chad Gable talks about all their accolades, the definition of greatness, and so much more. It was an okay little video package, but it got the job done to get across to being a little bit entertaining. Chad Gable continues to be entertaining after they looking to put the Wyatt Six in the back burner and see where things continue to progress with that stable and see where they may shift in the near future. Then we get to Braun Breaker, who cuts a promo about how he's coming to get his Intercontinental Championship back. More importantly, about the whole Jey Uso family can't save him, and he's gonna run Bloodshot directly past Jey Uso and regain the championship. Then we get to a sit-down interview between Adam Pearce, the general manager of Raw, and the big man, Bronson Reed, from last Saturday. Pearce says he's given his talent room to be not only wild, but eats his criticism for what it is. Reed says we went too far in the last man standing match against Braun Strowman. More importantly, Bronson said he's done, and he has been to get him in the main event. He needs to know what he needs to do to get to the next level, and he had surpassed, and he had to find his niche, and he wants to set things up for a singles match with Seth Rollins. Of course, Adam Pearce says he'll think about it, but he needs to talk to Seth Rollins first. And things concluded with the interview. It was like a nice little 2-3 minute little talk and conversation, but it was okay for what it was. Then we get to Alpha Academy. They make the way for the break for the actual beginning of the tournament for the tag team world number one contenders for the World Tag Team Championship. They made their way out with Maxine Dupree. Of course, they're still the original members of Otis and Kira Tozawa. They were waiting in the ring, waiting for who the initial opponents were. The lights went out. Ended up being no. Then we got the war sign put up there. At first, people thought it was the Vikings sign. They thought it was going to be Viking Raiders, but they reverted back to the War Raiders. They kind of dummied down their kind of style of being Vikings. They had a new little attires, but it was cool for what it was when it came to the new red and black kind of silhouette kind of style with the little biker style kind of jackets, and then straight to the point of getting things taken care of. This match was Smash Mouth, a whole lot of back and forth. The Caterpillar was countered by Big Man Ivar with the spinning wheel kick. And then, of course, they end up hitting their new finisher, the Fallout, to capture the victory on Akira Tozawa to secure the victory for the 1-2-3. And it was great seeing the War Raiders return under their new banner name. More importantly, they were smash mouth. It was a squash match, but they were on point to get things taken care of. Then we get to Seth Rollins, who's in the back. Adam Pearce chats with him for a brief moment and goes over everything about the injuries and part of the game and passion plea for a chance to not only just get his vengeance against Bronson Reed, but the possibility of Seth Rollins being on Monday Night Raw as well. He talked about all his accolades of beating the Kings, beating Beasts, but he wants to beat the Monster as well. So Adam Pearce thinks about it, and then things go into the commercial break from there. We shift gears to Cody Rhodes, who makes his entrance. Of course, he has his in-ring promo, and he has the face-to-face off with no other than the big man Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion who runs the Red brand. They had a lot of back and forth talk, and things were calm, cool, and collected for what it was. It kept me highly invested, but more importantly, they had some great words. Gunther said it was nothing negative to say about Cody Rhodes. He holds the foundation into the new era of WWE and pretty much holds everything on his back and pretty much does everything that is right when it comes to being the face of WWE. But of course, he addressed with a whole lot of respect. They go back and forth, they talk a little bit. And then, of course, Gunther says that it's going to be an honor to defeat him. More importantly, things get heated when they have a handshake. And of course, Gunther goes into saying, wish you best as I end up beating you. And then, more importantly, he leaves. And then, of course, they have a little look or death stare at each other as Gunther leaves directly back into the back of the gorilla, and Cody Rhodes celebrates with the fans before they end that actual segment. Kofi Kingston makes his way out after going to commercial break as he get ready for Braun Breaker, who in the match was initially set up after Kofi was attacked by Braun Breaker last week after defending Jey Uso as well as Xavier Woods. So he wanted to go one-on-one with the big man who's looking to get his vengeance, become the Intercontinental Champion again. But more importantly, it was calm, cool, and collective. It got the job done. This match was a lot of back and forth. Kofi's a true veteran. He carried the majority of this match, but he couldn't handle it when it came to Braun Breaker initially taking control of the match and securing a victory with that beautiful spear for the pinfall, the coast-to-coast spear. Afterwards is where things really got intriguing. Braun Breaker was about to put the attack directly on Kofi Kingston again. Xavier Woods made the save. But of course, Braun Breaker rolls directly out the ring. He gives it a little moment after Xavier Woods' back was turned. And he has proceeded to attack him from behind and then lays him out afterwards. Things break down afterwards as Jey Uso music hits. He comes directly out and he puts the punches and a super kick to Braun Breaker to send him directly onto the outside. And he even knocks him down again when Braun Breaker tries to come back in the ring. And then he checks on Kofi Kingston, but he did not check on Xavier Woods. I think that's going to set the tone of Xavier Woods saying, nobody cares about me more, the disrespect there. But he started it first. He started disrespecting all the world champions. More importantly, kind of splitting his ties and saying he should be a coach of how things should be running and making the plays. But of course, Kofi Kingston kind of just avert things and kind of do his own kind of thing. And it kind of rubbed Xavier Woods the wrong way. So I'm liking this storyline of seeing how things may pick up. Just a matter of time before Xavier Woods just vent his frustration and take out Kofi Kingston. Then, of course, we go to the Terror Twins, who are in the backstage. Rhea Ripley says it's TV time to sit on an apron and look pretty. More importantly, Damon Priest gives her a prep talk and says if she needs his back, he'll be there in a quickness and be there to make sure everything runs smoothly. And she says she got this and she's going to handle this and finish it off. Then we get it for R-Truth and The Miz in singles action. R-Truth was still his jolly self, still wearing the Awesome Truth shirt and logo. He offers our code of honor handshake. The Miz is not feeling it whatsoever. The match gets underway. We end up having the Final Testament come directly out, leading by Karrion Kross and Scarlett. The Wire 6 VHS lower third pops up. And of course, it cuts in and out as the distraction. The Miz was distracted looking at carrying Cross, and R-Truth ends up getting the victory with a roll up very quickly for 1, 2, 3. And that was hilarious, was funny. But then R-Truth started to hug everybody, even hug the Miz, hug the referee that was in the ring, and then he rolled out. And then he tried to high five Karrion Cross and rock past him. And then Karrion Cross told the AOP to get him. Of course, they grabbed him, put the beat down, rolled him back in the ring. The Miz ended up hitting a skull crushing finale to seal the fate of things. And it's picking up. Look like the Y6 have their new site set up for the Final Testament and the Miz, or just the Miz by itself. It's going to be intriguing and interesting. It's about time for the Y6 to get back into the fold of things. But speaking of the Y6, W2K24 has just announced that we're going to have a new hidden DLC, which is going to be the final version of The Fiend, which is kind of cool, as well as the Bo Dallas version of Uncle Howdy with the new shape mask with the beard showing out and everything like that, with the new attire that he wore for his debut against no other than Chad Gable, as well as action figure style playable character of Bray Wyatt that will be available as well for the DLC. And it's intriguing. It's cool for what it is, and I look forward to seeing that DLC and playing with it a little bit. And of course, directly on this channel and my secondary channel, I will have it directly available. But more importantly, we get down to the hype of next week's show, including Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, including the other matches of setting up the tag team division, getting things underway with their perspective of how things are running. And we get to the main event, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez in tag team action, taking on Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. There was a lot of back and forth. It was okay what it was. It was ended with a disqualification after Nia Jax came directly down to a no contest. She ended up putting the beat down to everybody that was in her wake. She got in the ring to check on Tiffany Stratton. Then things really picked up when Rhea Ripley got in there. It was about the power slammer. And things really heightened up, or it pitched up. But Liv Morgan chop blocked Rhea Ripley. And then things broke down as Nia was able to get a hold of Liv Morgan. She headbutted her, hit her with a lovely leg drop, and more importantly, put her to sleep with that Annihilator. Then she was heading to Tiffany Stratton to cash in the women's Money in the Bank. Tiffany was like, "Oh, you sure?" She hopped up and down, and she was excited all across the board, and she was looking forward to seeing how that was going to unfold. But of course, before she got the chance to get the briefcase and roll out and try to grab it in and come directly into the ring, things really broke down afterwards, where Dominic Mysterio made the save to Liv Morgan to pull her directly out the ring. And then, of course, the end of the show with the credits, and then, of course, the production roll and everything like that. That was cool for what it was. It kept things respective and kept the tensions high, lead up towards Crown Jewel when they lead off with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax for that Crown Jewel Championship as reigning supreme, whoever was reigning supreme as being a dominant champion. And they're going to have this every single year. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it's going to be lackluster at best. But we shall see how things end up turning up. More importantly, I appreciate you guys coming through for this channel. I'd like to know how you feel about the overall of how things are picking up with WWE. Also, this week, don't forget to check out the Motor Machine Guns, which is Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, are coming to SmackDown. As my previous video, I will have it up available after this concludes when it comes to Monday Night Raw, as well as it may have up how things had happened this following weekend with Wrestle Dream with AEW, which was a decent pay-per-view. It was solid for what it was. But in overall, Monday Night Raw was great. It kept me invested. It wasn't a sleeper. 2 hours is much better because then I could do a whole lot more and work on other projects and spend time with the family as well. But more importantly, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you for coming through and showing your love and support. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.